Okay. Gonna start off by telling you that I will not be with you long. Even though even though it shows that I am live, I am not live. It is 12:30 at night. But when I do these late live streams, it doesn't necessarily garner a reaction. So I'm just kind of playing with the algorithms and seeing what would happen if I do it this way. So, to get started, I just want to start off with a round of applause, even though this is on the thumbnail. This is not necessarily a big topic, but I want to give a round of applause. That's a little loud. Round of applause for J Balvin and Jordan, Nike, etc. I don't know J Balvin. I don't know any of his music. The only thing that I'm familiar with is uh I Like It Like That, Cardi B. That's the only thing that I've ever heard from him. Uh so I don't know much about him, but I do know that he has collaborations with Jordan Brand. And with those collaborations, a lot of collab shoes tend to be hot sellouts. And I don't necessarily know that I could call myself a sneakerhead anymore. I haven't purchased a pair of shoes since 2022, but I still have I mean you can actually see the cases in the background. I still got shoes now, but I just hadn't bought a new pair. And one of the reasons why is because just it's first of all, it costs money, and I rather allocate my funds elsewhere right now. But on top of that, it's just the fight, like putting in raffles just to get a pair of shoes that you want. Um, Fighting to be up at 10 o'clock at no 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday just to try to beat the bots. It's just so much that you have to go through in order to get a pair of shoes that you desire. So I'm in a sneakerhead group, and sometimes when I get on Facebook, I just see it, and I saw someone post that he posts his receipt. So he posted a receipt, his invoice, and said that does anybody have a place for me to stay? Because he got charged $25,000. And he said that his bank recognized it as normal activity. So he needs a place to stay. And I kind of saw that. I was working, so I just kind of saw it and put it in the back of my mind, didn't think anything of it. Until right before I got ready to do this, I saw the article explaining what happened to people who use bots today. So if you used a bot, you got charged $25,000 for these collaboration shoes. So it automatically correct everything in my mind. I saw that and I'm like, some Balvin Jordan, some threes worth $25,000. That's crazy. And my suspicion was correct. They're not worth $25,000, but that's what some people paid for it. I don't necessarily know if that's legal. I don't know if that's going to stand. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to get their shoes and they're not going to pay the $25,000. But just to pop up on people with that, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. The reason why I dig it because it gives you even playing field. Um, and it's kind of one of those things like if you can't beat them, join them. And bots have been winning for so long, so long. I want to say that bots were probably introduced around like 2016, 2017, and throughout the whole sneaker boom where reselling was crazy, like a lot of people were reselling simply because they had bots, knew how to utilize bots. So That is a win and another round of applause for the sneaker community. I rejoice with you, even though y'all might not have me at the moment since I have not purchased a pair of shoes since 2022. So, with that, we are going to go along. Sorry about that. We're gonna move along, and I want to bring something up. Where we at, man? So we'll pull that up too. Is this what I'm looking for? Uh, yeah. I'm just pull this up. So let's see here. Let's introduce this into. Sorry, y'all. I know y'all used to me having co-hosts. So when I have a co-host, it's easier for me to let them talk while I prepare these things. But yeah, I'm trying to pull up this Cam interview. I did not recognize that there was such a like. I saw the interview and it just to me, I'm like, oh, that's just Cam. I laughed at it and kept it moving. Um, but not so much with other people. Like I see that it has really divided the community. Where some people look at it like Cam owes um I'm sorry, what's her name? I think her name is Abby. Forgive me for not I don't watch I don't watch news. I get my news from social media. So I'm not familiar with this anchor. Um but anywho, Cam, I am very familiar with. I've known of Cam since like since like 1999. So with that being the case, I'm kind of familiar with his ways, his antics, and this is not the first time that he's done this. That's why it's kind of thrown me off that people kind of ran with this. But let's play this.
When you saw that video of Diddy, Cassie in that hotel, did you recognize that Sean Combs?
What I want to say first of all, when I seen the video, everything in the video is egregious. I'm against. I don't support all the charges that's alleged against him. I don't support any of that trafficking, minors, domestic violence. I'm totally against it. So when I seen the video, yeah, I was kind of upset with it. Not being that I know him, he's not necessarily a friend, but yeah, I was upset when I seen it. But
did you
as far as
recognize
everything I
him?
just said,
Did you recognize that
I
kind of
wasn't.
anger at all?
So I want to pause that. Let's see. Let's bring it. Yeah, we'll stay there. I want to pause this simply because I want to talk about where we're at with this. Like, I think that up until this point, he did a really good job. Like, he literally is letting you know that I don't stand with any of that. I don't agree with it. Anything that is alleged against this man, I do not condone. Uh, really and truly, it was kind of his way saying that interview over. I'm addressing any question that I feel comfortable answering right now. We're gonna just get it on out the way. So that's the first thing. And then she goes on to continue and I really want to speak on this for a moment because I feel like it's such a problem out in the atmosphere with this. It's like people have all these thoughts and opinions from behind cameras like I am now, from behind cell phones and things of that nature. And I think we get so caught up and so captivated by these celebrities' lives. And never, like, at the end of the day, I view them as regular people. I don't really too much care about them. I don't know these individuals, etc. But I do not think that we look at them and compare them to our own lives. So a lot of people send like even, you know, with the analysts. asking the question like, is this the Sean Combs that you know? Just because you see me in a picture with someone does not mean that I know this individual. We just took a picture. We might have been in the same place at the same time. Like I know him, I know of him, but as far as there actually being a relationship, you know how many pictures I got with people that I don't know or people that I do not communicate with today? Like as far as my circle, like I don't have new friends. Like and then some of my newer friends like fell off. Like so when it comes to that, like I distance myself from particular individuals and like the friends that I have that I communicate with on a day-to-day basis have all been in my life for 10 plus years. 10 plus years, some 25 plus years. So if you see me with an acquaintance, like I'm not responsible for that individual. I don't know what that individual is doing on a day-to-day basis. Do not try to link me. Like I've been seeing a lot of stuff, like people have been showing pictures with, like one of the big things is people have been showing the pictures of Puff and Jay. And it's like I'm not, don't get it twisted. I'm not taking up for Jay. I don't know Jay. I don't know the nature of their relationship, but what I do know is that Jay has known Puff and has had dealings with Puff back going back to the Bad Boy era. Like he was good friends with Biggie. That's Biggie's label head. That's his CEO. So when it comes to that, like he has, like I think Jay was on no way out. So when it comes to that, just because someone has an industry, and another one of the big things that people been talking about lately is the Drake and Kendrick thing. You got photos out there with Drake and Kendrick, but you see that there's clearly not a relationship. So just because you see somebody smiling and kikiing, like I done laughed with plenty of people that I have zero relationship with and do not have a desire to talk to that individual anymore. So I mean, just kind of is what it is to kind of sit back. I've seen people like rope people up and say that they are guilty of certain crimes too, just because of association. And it's like you can't do that. Like you cannot do that because if we doing that, then it's some people in all of our lives that can be considered questionable that we may not know what they're doing. We not may not know what they're into. Don't put that on me. I, I am responsible for what Kimon does. I live my life to the best of my ability. I live my life in a manner in which I try to make God proud, my family proud. So as far as that, like I'm not responsible for anybody else. And definitely not responsible for people that I don't know. And even when it comes to the people that I do know, I'm not responsible for the things that I don't know about them. So um yeah, let's get back to
from your
I don't know him like
experiences?
that. What do you mean? Do I be recognized? Did I recognize him? I seen him. What do you mean my experiences? I seen him and I thought it was disgusting. I didn't do a zoom in to see if it was really him or nothing, but he admitted it was him. So yeah, it was him.
What did you think about the apology that
and so a lot of people are saying that Cam owes her an apology. And I'm not saying that he's not being brash. I'm not saying that he's not being professional, but this is the way that Cam talks. When it comes to the industry, a lot of these people have characters. Like they are a character. And he's if he is in character, he is in character. This is the same person that you get on It Is What It Is. This is the same individual that we have record of seeing back all the way to early 2000s. Like this is who this individual is. So it's it's kind of like you ask someone to be on your program, you kind of have to know a little bit about them to know who they are. That's just my opinion.
he gave in that other video?
Ain't me for this. The apology ain't for me to decide for Cassie. What I think about it don't matter.
Now, I 100% agree with that. Now I do kind of disagree with it. We can have he's saying what I think about it doesn't matter, but we can have some thoughts about it. I don't believe in the apology. I don't think it is a sincere apology, simply because I mean, just before that, weeks before that, we said it on the podcast. We on the podcast yesterday, we literally went and read the statement that he made a couple of weeks ago. So you can't go from saying that people lying on your name and lying on your character and then turn around and say, I apologize. I was messed up. I was in a dark place in my life and all that type of stuff. And I sought counseling and all that type of stuff. But the thing is, you was just saying that this wasn't true. So all of a sudden now it's true. And now you've done all of these things to correct. And it's like, no, we don't believe that. So he is 100% right by saying that it doesn't matter what we think about the apology. The apology is for who he offended. But I would say this: if I'm Cassie, I'm looking at that, and I don't think that that's sincere. I think that you're doing what you got to do to try to save face and salvage the empire that you've built. But yeah, so I don't disagree with what he said here.
Ain't do nothing to me. Cassie need to ask Cassie if she accept the apology. I told you how I feel. I said what I said.
I want to play a conversation that you had on your podcast back in September with Mace. Listen.
Yeah.
When you had your record deal, why did you take me to Biggie Smalls and not Bad Boy?
Man, it's almost gonna bring me to tears to say this. I just, being that I saw you as such a good friend, I wanted to put you with somebody I knew with.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. A lot of people ask me that on Instagram, man. Don't have me that's out here crying and shit, man. I don't want to get emotional in here, man.
Instantly, I knew Biggie would do right by you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I mean, is there something known in the industry about how Diddy treated his artists?
So I'm going to get some cheeks after this horsepower joint. I'm just going off what Mace said. Mace took me to Biggie. I don't really know Puffers like Mace know Puff. So I appreciate what Mace said. And of course, that's my brother. So if he felt that way, then he felt that way. I can't really tell you how Puff moves or anything like that. Mace may know better than me because he was signed to Puff. I wasn't. But my show does come on at 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. It's called It Is What It Is. And y'all make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I might get some.
All right. So with this is loaded. Now, I don't agree with everything that was done here. But I do understand it. So when it comes to, and I will say this, if I'm the interviewer in this instance, I'm done pushing them, because I think that this is very journalistic for her to for them to do their research and bring that clip out. That was something to try to build upon when you're questioning a man's character, but at the same time, the clip said with everything within itself. Mace tried to get Cam with Biggie, and he ended up signing through Untainment, through Un. So with that being the case, like, he knew even then that Puff is someone that you don't want to do business with. And so I said on the stream yesterday, when it came to Puff, when the lawsuit first came out, I said, oh yeah, I'm very careful with putting things on people and allowing the justice system to at least attempt to do the right thing and to prove if someone is innocent or guilty. And you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So I never want to do the opposite and prove someone to be guilty before they had their day in court. But when it comes to Puff, it's like, it's so much stuff that you can sit back here. Like, if you just go through the things that you've heard over the course of your life about Puff, none of these things come off as surprising to me. So it's most definitely, it says a lot about one's character to know that you have an artist and you have a friend of that artist that is also an artist who is capable of being a mainstream artist, and instead of taking them to your label head, you take them to someone else because you trust them more than your label head. That lets you know that he didn't drink the Kool-Aid and he already knew what was up over there. So it's very telling. Very telling. So yeah. But as far as the other stuff, now Cam has a product. Do I feel like this is the best place for you to get an advertisement off when it comes to the particular product that you have? And when it came when it comes to when it comes to the manner in which you're presenting this on of family. CNN is Disney. Like, this is a family oriented setting, and here you are bringing this. But at the same time, like I say, do the research of the individual that you know. They have a sports podcast. He runs those ads during the podcast. I used to watch the podcast, but I had to stop watching it because I don't like the ads. But I'm just saying that this is the person that you invited to do. This is the person that you invited to do this with. So you kind of have to know a little bit about the individual, and you also got to understand the mindset. Like Cam, as much as y'all try, as much as so many people try to villainize Dame Dash, like, you got to recognize exactly who he is and what he stands on, and his attachment to Cam. Like, that's Cam's OG. So when it comes to all that type of stuff, that's speaking of owning your own, having your own, like, this is the same individual that hired OJ. He hired OJ regardless of what was going on, and what the public perception of OJ was. He hired OJ, and then he turned around, and regardless of the public perception of Mark Jackson, hired him. Like, so this lets you know the mentality of him. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I don't care what other people got going on. I'm not expecting them my money flows to come from them, etc. So I do want y'all to recognize the whole point in having TV programming is to run ads. So when they looking at their bottom line, the only reason why you have news is to sell ads. The only reason that you have television show is to sell ads. So if you are using me to sell your ads, what is wrong with me coming up here and getting an ad off? And that might be the creator in me and the business savvy that comes along with being an independent creator. But that's just where my mind goes. I know a lot of people may not agree, but that's where my mind goes. So even though I don't agree with the fact that he came up here and got his product off like that, like, you can see that it literally is a commercial within the interview. And then right after, he leaves it up with another commercial for it is what it is. So but yeah, if I'm the interviewer at this moment in time, I'm wrapping it up. And if I gotta talk to my producer, if I gotta talk to, supervisor, whatever it is, like, you just gotta kind of feel what the moment is, and see that gotta see what type of time he's on. So I'm not necessarily, like, I see it from both angles. Does Cam owe an apology? I don't know. Uh, it wouldn't be bad to give one. But at the same time, it's like, me personally, I wouldn't have pressed the issue with him when I see what type of time he's on. It just is what it is. Get the moment, because the thing is that there is currency in the moment. Just like a couple of years ago when Birdman goes into the Breakfast Club, Like, hey, Charlemagne, like keep them cameras rolling. Like he came there for an interview. They was expecting to do like a 40-minute, 50-minute interview like they do with everybody else. It was a 3-minute moment. One of the most viral moments of the culture. And this is that too. But also where I said you got to know who you're dealing with. Like this is not Cam's first time. And he actually even said that on It Is What It Is that literally I just pulled up I typed in Cameron and literally Cameron Bill O'Reilly popped up. So we not watching this whole thing. Man, let me see. Let's the one up with Katie Couric.
I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Rapper Cameron has made millions.
Hurt?
Oh yeah, definitely. Feels like my hand is numb. It's in the ice box all day.
If you had seen who shot you, would you have told police?
No.
Why?
Because the type of business I'm in, it would definitely hurt my business. And the way that I was raised, I just don't do that. I was raised differently, not to tell.
A lot of people, though, hearing that are going to say that that's not a good thing.
The people that say it's not a good thing are most likely the people that don't buy my records. You know what I'm saying? The people that buy my records kind of understand where I'm coming from. I have a fan base of 500,000 people, which means every time my album comes out, I sell 500,000 on a good day, on a bad day. On a great day, I sell 2 million records.
Man, I just want to say that this right here, this is the difference between 20 years ago and now. This man is 500,000. 2 million. You got it's the Drakes and the Kendricks that do and the Beyoncés that do those types of numbers when it comes to 500,000, and the only person on the earth that can get that 2 million number is Taylor Swift. So that's crazy. We in two different eras.
So basically, the people who would say that isn't a good thing, I don't think those are the same people that buy my album. The people that buy my music will understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
So for you, it's really about business.
It's about business, but it's still also who did something to you, but it's kind of policing your own community. Person who did something to you, but it's kind of policing your own community.
If there's a serial killer living next door to you, though, and you know that person is, killing people, would you be a snitch if you called police and told them?
If I knew the serial killer was living next door to me?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call and tell anybody on them, but I'll probably move. Like, I'm not going to be around because I don't need to be living around serial killers, but I'm not going to call and be like, put the signs up like, yo, the serial killer's in 4E.
It's not your responsibility.
Exactly.
Is there any
like, so there's that. Let me let's go back. I want to pull up some of that Bill O'Reilly.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly. But my issue is that when you they promote the four-letter words. We don't promote entrepreneurship. We don't promote positive and ownership of your company. I'm making it cool to be smart. All right. I'm making it cool. Wait, let me start.
Yeah, but it's not
I'm
about
making it cool to be a businessman.
It's not about business.
It's not about business for you because
like I said, this is Dame Dash. His OG.
Feel like it might give you better ratings to portray something negative within the image of hip hop. It is negative. It's not negative to be a businessman. It's not negative to take care of the economy around you.
Money, Mr. Dash, if you hurt children.
How do you hurt children by promoting to be a?
You're looking at a principle.
Why you don't want to let him talk? You mad? Where'd you start? Current affair, right?
No, wrong.
Well, you're looking I got dirt on you, doggy.
Cameron,
I'm gonna get at you in a minute.
You go ahead. You get at.
I'm gonna get at you in a minute.
Let's keep it positive. You're looking at a guy who teaches inner city kids and who is telling you face to face that he has problems with kids based upon a rap music.
You're cutting me off, sir.
You're mad.
Go ahead, Mr. Thomas. Go ahead.
No. What I'm saying to you.
Like this. I just wanted to show y'all this little bit. I'm not gonna play anymore of it, but this is who we're dealing with. Like this is someone who has a track record of doing this for the last 20 years. So why are we surprised that it just happened yesterday? It happened. Like this is someone that, hey, if you know, you know. So you had to know that if you bring him on your program, that this was a possibility. So I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Like, and when you talk about this Bill O'Reilly thing, hey, that was light work compared to this. So, and I get it. You know, people have a conversation about maturing and things of that nature. Like you need to, but hey, and I'm not here to make excuses for them. I wouldn't do it, but at the same time, if I know a person has a track record of doing this, and I bring them up for an interview, I got to know that it's a possibility that this happens. And okay, so last thing, let me get this off the screen. Just take it off right here. So, just a quick question. No, not quick question. Quick segment, and then I'm out of here. I don't want to get into politics. And in thinking about this, when I first thought about it, I thought about it from the perspective of a black person. But then I realized that it's not black, it's all of us. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Excuse me. And this is the name of the stream, Wish Sandwich. Do not buy the Wish Sandwich. Don't the Wish Sandwich. What's the other? Don't buy the I had just thought about it. Like I said, it's late. It is what it is. But the other saying, old saying for Wish Sandwich. But anywho, either yesterday or the day before yesterday, see Sunday or Monday, I saw that Biden was doing a commencement speech. Oh yeah, it's time for me to get off because I can't talk right now. Biden was doing the commencement speech for Morehouse, and I looked at it immediately and laughed. And I can expound upon that, but I don't want to get into a political debate, or it's not about that. But I immediately like that's ironic, and I know how other people are going to view this, and I know how I view it. And then today, before I got on the stream, I saw that Amber Rose came out and endorsed Trump. And immediately in my head, I was like, I'm not even going to, I don't have to expound. But what I will say is that no matter your race, your nationality, no matter what, if you're a citizen of America, you got a lot of people that are about to promise you a whole lot of sweet nothings. You have to keep that in mind. Literally, you have Trump running on the same thing that he ran on in what 2016, 2016, and he had 4 years to make it happen. It didn't happen, and I do recognize that the president is just a kind of a figurehead. He can't make something happen on his own. But I want you to be aware of that too when they're making these promises. Hold these people to the carpet. I when I can speak of when it comes to Biden. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I grew up Democrat because that's just the thing in the black community is just kind of like that. And that's what created the grounds for Biden to say, if you don't vote for me, then you're not black. How can you how can you define my blackness? I can vote for whoever I want to and then maintain my blackness. Now, if my community got something to say about it, then that's a conversation for me and my community. But at the end of the day, I don't care what my community. Nobody can define my blackness. At the end of the day, when I look in the mirror, I see a black man, and so it is what it is in that regard. But when it comes to the Republican Party, when it comes to the Democratic Party, Libertarian, Green Party, all these different things, you you better be on the lookout, because you got people who are swift to lie to you right now just to get your vote. That's all it is. So I know that it can be a point of contention, politics, and that's why I wasn't necessarily trying to talk about it. I just want to elevate the ears and eyes of my listeners and let you know that don't matter what you rep, hold these people feet to the fire. The things that they say, hold them accountable for it. Don't just give them your blind allegiance. Like, these are servants of the people. You're supposed to be here for us. And more often than none, they're not here for us. They're here to line their pockets. They're here to line the pockets of the people that support them financially, and help put them in the positions to run the country. So know that, and make them do for you. Don't just accept the sweet nothings. Don't eat the wish sandwich. And with that, I'm way over my mental capacity. Yeah, I haven't been talking correctly for the last 35 minutes, so I'm gone. I don't know how this is gonna read to you, well, how this is gonna play out to y'all at whatever time I drop it tomorrow. But hey, it is what it is. Know that I'm sleepy. Anywho, holla at y'all later.